I think we're back, OC. I think we're back, bro. We are back here. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Evidently, they didn't like my thumbnail. I see How's the Attic again. I see Holy Balls from JB. OC, how you doing, man? You were on your charts. Let's go back in and let's talk about that. We had a glitch in the matrix. We got rug pulled by YouTube. We'll see if it does it again. If it is, it's the thumbnail, and we'll have to change the thumbnail, evidently. They don't like Jerome Powell with an exclamation point on a fist. So, OC, what do you got for us on that chart, bro?
Let's go and take it out. Take a look at it. So, spoiler alert: we know the trade on Dutch, but let's go back to Bitcoin. So in Bitcoin, I was saying that that you could be right, and we could be having that kind of like a laser beam, just shooting out of a triangle and not making a triangle more than like a range. But I'm noticing this out of place, these spikes of momentum, which they don't really reflect that much into the breakouts, right? So as we're getting at the end of it, we might have, and I'm afraid to be a short squeezing here to the downside. Look at our money flow, it's bearish. Our volume matrix, it is barely bullish. So at some point, we could be having just a movement to the downside. I still think that this movement is still very valid. So I'm just going to move it to my right and keep it as is. So yeah, so far, so good. I think we need to keep it a little bit patient. And in the meantime, we're going to be seeing, yeah, as you mentioned, altcoin seasons or altcoins just not playing out as we were expecting. Although while Bitcoin, it is boring, we could have seen that rotation of capital, which we already have seen that rotation of capital into altcoins, and then taking profits into altcoins and pushing them into USDT or stable coins, USDT, USDC, DAI, or whatever other stable coin there is out there. So I think people were a little too emotional, but not really prepared to really push the altcoins, which I think at this point, it's a good point, because I believe that we could be having that rotation of capital back into Bitcoin and having one more push to the upside. That having said, I do still believe that we're going to have that sweep of the lows, and then that we're going to set us up for the next push to the upside. So hopefully that plays out.
Awesome. Looks like we're getting some of our people back here. We had about 30, and then all of a sudden, rug pull. Crypto Princess, shout out to you. I see you there. JR said, Matrix is mad. It's too much alpha. And Baba Yah said, don't mess with Jerome. Appreciate that, man. So weird. So weird. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump over to the news, break this down for us, and see where we're at on the metrics right now. Looking here at the crypto market cap total right now, we're sitting at $3.846 trillion. Trend on that is at $4.10 trillion. We're currently undervalued about 6.3% today. Looking at the crypto risk markets for Bitcoin, we are at 58.4% on the wristbands. And look here, guys. Bitcoin dominance. We talked about this. We were hitting levels of support on the long-term run-up. I'm sorry, Robert Mulligan. I apologize. With stable sitting at 61%. Without stable coins, it's back to 65.29, and it is moving its way up. Crypto Surfer, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Let's jump over into X and look at the Fear and Greed Index, sitting at 71 currently in greed. Also, right here, guys, big news. We got an article about this today. We're going to talk about it. Fed shock incoming. Trump is heading to the Federal Reserve today, and rumors say Powell could be fired. Will a major shakeup happen, or is he just going there to try to put the strong arm on Jerome Powell and tell him, look, 300 basis points, 3% drop is what needs to happen. We're coming up on a deadline for refinancing federal debt. It is maturing this year, and we've got to refinance it, and he does not want to refi at these current 10-year Treasury bond yields. Matter of fact, let's jump over to CNBC and look at that. You guys can see 10-year yield is up. It's hitting 4.4%, closing in on that 4.5. Let's take a look at the TradFi markets right now. Dow Jones currently down about 0.5%. S&P just slightly up about 0.1%. In the NASDAQ, just about flat after hitting an all-time high today. Russell 2K small caps is down about 0.5%, and volatility super low, guys. It's just a static sell-off going on here, and not really anything moving in the markets after hitting that NASDAQ all-time high. European markets last night, overnight, were mixed. Asian markets overnight were mixed, with the Nikkei Japan market being up slightly. HSI and Shanghai also in the green. Let's take a look at oil right now. $66 a barrel, up 1.21%. Alexandra G, welcome back. Sorry about that, lady. She's like, I got kicked out of the office, and then all of a sudden I was back. So I appreciate you being here. Looking at gold doing a little pullback today, down about 0.73%, $3,372 an ounce. And I do think this has to do with the auctions yesterday. We had auctions yesterday, if you guys don't know, on the 20-year Treasury bond. And so that Treasury yield came out at like 4.973%. And it was an astronomical buy up. A lot, like $500 billion worth of purchases, and a majority of those coming from foreign investment, meaning that people have a good, strong, happy feeling about what they're seeing on the U.S. economy and the strength of the U.S. currency over 20 years out. So we are seeing a little flip back into the bond world right now, and out of gold. I think that's where that money from gold was going right there. Looking at silver here, we're at $39.25 an ounce, is down just slightly, about 0.63%. Copper is flat. Platinum and palladium, both in the red. OC, you get it today. Palladium is down more than platinum today. But yeah, it had gone up a lot more, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm just checking out the chat here, watching you guys in the chat. Appreciate you guys. We have not gotten a fraction of what we had back from that rug pull there on YouTube. I don't know. Look here, guys. In the past 24 hours, we've had, this is pretty hefty, 246,602 traders get liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $704.8 million. A lot of people were long on some altcoins. And if we take a look at the 24-hour here, you'll see it wasn't things like Bitcoin, guys. It was ETH, others, XRP, Doge, Solana. Yeah, Bitcoin is in there, but it's the big dog. It's the majority, right? And so a lot of altcoins got absolutely tore up in the past 24 hours. $572 million of that was long liquidations, and then some short liquidations there at $131 million. Where are we at in the alt season? Guys, we're back down to 45. We were at 53 when we said this on Monday, and I said, look, until we hit 71, we are not in altcoin season, and we're likely going to see a pullback and a shift back to Bitcoin dominance. And there it is. This is the Bitcoin dominance, currently sitting on that alt season index at 45, well far away, well below what we need to see in order to hit alt season. So looking at the crypto bubbles here on the daily, lots of red. On the hourly, even more red. Let's take a look here. Bitcoin sitting flat right now on the daily, 0% upside, down in the past hour, 0.5%, sitting at $118,000. Ethereum down below that $3,800 threshold that it hit, and looking at $3,633 as its current price. Daily, it's up about 0.7, but still pulling back on the hourly. XRP down 4.7%. Solana down 3.5. Doge is down 5.3. Tron is holding pretty decent, but that's because some stuff is going on with Tron right now. I've seen something on it on X. I don't remember what it was. Somebody that knows this, let me know in the chat, but I know that Tron has got some stuff going on right now. So it's moving up on the market cap, but still down about a third of a 0.3%. So hey, Two-Dub, welcome to the morning show. Haven't seen you in a while. Here at Cardano down 3%. Stellar Lumen is down 2.8. SWE is down 2.1. Chainlink down 2.1. Bitcoin Cash making a comeback again, holding strong on the daily, but losing it on the hourly. HBAR is down 5.3%. Just pretty much downside across the board on alts, guys. If we scroll down, Kronos, which again is crypto.com's native token, is where people move their money to instead of stable coins, because they earn yield earnings on it, and then they also get bonus earnings on their other states' coins by how much Chronos they hold. Right now, Chronos is where a lot of money is going to over there on crypto.com, moving out of Bitcoin, out of the cryptos into Chronos in order to make that yield. And it is up 4.4%. Ethena, same thing. Another DeFi, it's native token. It's up 6.6. Bonk is up. There you go. The little bonk trade for you there. I think OC was talking about bonk yesterday, and then story up 11.6. And then we're getting all the way down to a number like 65 in the market cap. So not looking too strong on the markets there. Let's take a look at the top 30 indicators for the bull market run up. Or where are we at with all this, guys? We'll start looking at this daily, because if you see a red X right here under hit or not, that means we haven't got a top side indicator for the bull market yet for a peak. And if we scroll all the way down, you'll see everything is still a red X. So top 30 indicators still saying top is not in. Let's take a look and see what happened here today with the job numbers and why I'm saying, hey, we're likely not going to get any not likely to get any of the rate cuts in July. Very unlikely to see it in September now. Looking here at this initial jobless claims, 217,000 is how it came in. It was at 221. They expected it to be up 227, 225. Came in well below what it previously was and even further than what it was forecasted to be. And so it's looking pretty decent there. New home sales came in also this morning, just up slightly on the new home sales. With yesterday, we saw that older homes, resales were not that high. A lot of people buying the new houses right now. So tomorrow, guys, we're going to get durable goods orders. This is expected to be significantly down from its previous report. So that month over month expected to be going the opposite direction, showing a slowdown of the economy, but a strength in the job market. And because of that, very unlikely to get those rate cuts coming. Why? Because we're seeing that the inflation is staying kind of calm. Excuse me, seeing that the inflation is staying kind of chilled out, right? And then on top of that, we're seeing that inflation slightly ticking up. That's what I meant to say. And that initial jobless claims are showing us with along the job market that it's staying calm and it's not getting any spikes in it. So overall, that means, look, jobs not, there's no threat from weakening labor market, and there's still a threat of inflation. So overall, let's just chill here and pause. And why are we seeing that? How do we know that we're seeing that? We can look here at the CME futures. Take a look at this. Refresh it, get this latest data in here. 97.4% chance of no rate cut in July. September, we're seeing a 38% chance of no rate cut, 62% chance that we get one in September. And then look at October, which is, I think, when we see it, 79.9%. This is now moving back up again on the likelihood of that. So we don't actually hit like a 90% plus high likelihood until December as of right now. But again, remember, we do have this. Jerome Powell, he's making his way over to the Federal Reserve today. Donald Trump has to talk to Jerome Powell. So did you guys see this? I want to play this for you. This is pretty funny. This is probably going to get us demonetized, but hey, whatever. Let's go.
Morgan weighing lending against crypto assets. Now we got this.
It's happening very fast, and I think that one of the things that I think any of these guys would say is, look, the customers want it. Now, when I had, it's very funny, because everyone says the customers want it, but when I had Michael Miebach on, who's the CEO of MasterCard, he didn't think there was any real demand for it. I mean, people want to trade. I think people want to own some as a hedge against the $37, $8 trillion. They want to own a debt. They want to own it for their kids. And you know who else feels that way? Me.
So there you go. Jim Cramer saying yesterday that people want Bitcoin so that they can hedge against the weakening dollar and all of this massive $37 trillion, $38 trillion in debt. And so, yeah, he said, do you know who else wants some? Me. That's what he said. So, and he actually talks about that at the end of this video. Hey, and Ethereum, Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's what he's buying. So warning, Warning, danger Will Robinson there. Let's go jump over here and talk about this Trump visiting the Federal Reserve, and we'll drop this over to News Cam with OC and I, and let's go see what we have over here, OC. Trump to visit Federal Reserve, escalating campaign against Chair Powell. U.S. President Donald Trump will visit the Federal Reserve today, the White House said. Trump has repeatedly criticized Powell for not cutting interest rates. U.S. President Donald Trump visiting the Fed Reserve, escalating his pressure campaign against Chairman Jerome Powell. This is the first time in nearly 2 decades that a seated American president will be making an official trip over there to the Fed Reserve Central Bank. American presidents have traditionally respected the independence of the Federal Reserve, which is insulated both in law and in practice from the political whims of elected officials. Trump's visit is a remarkable symbolic move on the independence, bringing his drumbeat of criticism over Powell's refusal to lower interest rates right to the chairman's doorstep. White House has released a schedule on Wednesday that said Trump would visit at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. So I think he's done a bad job, but he's going to be out pretty soon anyway. Trump told reporters earlier this week. And Trump has repeatedly criticized Powell for not kind of even floating the idea of firing him, despite legal questions over his authority to do so. So Trump last week sought opinions from a group of Republican lawmakers on firing Powell before denying he intended to remove the Fed chair. We're not planning on doing it. I think it's highly unlikely unless he has to leave for fraud. So, OC, let's talk about this, man. There's some rumors going around, and we saw that on that X post. There's some rumors going around that he might be heading over there to, threaten being fired. And I don't think that he has the legality to do that at all. Just my personal humble opinion. But overall, this is still, a very presidential. It's unprecedented that we see the president go to the Federal Reserve. How do you think this is going to play out? And is this going to cause some volatility in the markets today? Is that why we're just kind of seeing this static TradFi? Wall Street's just kind of in wait and see mode, and crypto's just kind of doing its thing. Bitcoin's holding steady in a range, and alts are just dumping. Are we seeing this because people are waiting to see what this turns out to be? What's your thoughts on this?
Let's go for pieces. There you go. Let's go for pieces, as Jack the Ripper would say. First off, I think that Donald Trump is setting a statement, right? So I am the president. I am leading this boat, and everybody needs to be, pushing the same or selling the same way. Something important, unless the laws have changed and I'm not aware of. I don't think, just like you mentioned, that President Trump has the legality to say whether who is the leader or who's in Jerome's positions, right? He cannot fire him. But going there is just a social and political pressure. He is pushing, and I would say the people against it, because he said, you know what, we could be better if we get the rate cuts that he wants. So he's pushing on those rate cuts. He's got no response on his suggestions. Then he demands it. He has, of course, no response to it. And I mean, what else did he have? And we know that he's used to, saying something and everybody else follows, right? Both in the business world, because he is a leader of his own companies. And now that he's president, everybody has followed, or almost everyone has fallen in line with him. Almost. So I think that what he's doing, it is just pushing his presidential status on the public for everyone to see, and put some social pressure on the Fed. Yeah, so whether whoever stands there or not, I think they will have to, have the balls to go through this. And what I can say is that hopefully the Fed does what is the best for the American people, and not the best for requests or political pressures. But yeah, that's all that I can say. And what was the second part you asked me? I think that was it, right?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, you covered it. I just, I don't know how the markets are going to react to this. And 4 p.m. today, by that time, the markets are right at closing. So It's going to be interesting, guys. Just be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. But you never know with Trump. Like, he's capable of anything. So let's jump over here and take a look at this before we jump into the chart, because I was looking at the quarterly and monthly returns here on Bitcoin, guys. And if we take a look here, we're getting ready to come up on August. As of right now, for July, just so you know, we're up 10.55%. If you take a look at August, we're typically July, and we're typically up 7.79%. And the average on that is the median is 9.6%. So we're beating the average and median as of right now for July. Okay, let's take a look back here. We were barely up in June, so just slightly above where we typically are, which is at a negative 0.14. Okay. Just May, we were just slightly above that 8.18%. We came in at 10.99. So you can see month over month, we're just scraping right above where we typically have our averages at, right? Except for back in March. March was a big jump. 12.121 was average, and we were down negative 2.3%. But let's take a look at August and see how this typically looks. If you go down and look, typically we're up about 1.75%. If you follow this run that we've been on of 1 to 2% above that, that would mean that August has a lot of sideways price action ahead for Bitcoin. Could be some volatility in there where we get a spike up and a spike down. Remember, there's no rate cut. There's no FOMC scheduled in August. And so I'm thinking that August is just a chill, laid back month of just sideways stress on the markets. People are going to be like, it's over. It's going to drop. It's going to pump. It's breakout coming. There was a thing on X this morning, OC, saying that Bollinger Bands were squeezing big time on Bitcoin. And that a breakout is imminent, right? And sure, that typically we do get a breakout from squeezing, right? Because eventually it's not going to stay sideways forever, and then we get a breakout. But that can go either way, and you can consolidate in Bollinger Bands for quite a while. Are you seeing anything on your high time frame to make you think that, hey, look, these tightening Bollinger Bands are going to lead to a breakout? I mean, if you do you have Bollinger Bands on your chart? If you do, pull them up. If not, I can get them on mine. But I'm just curious to know on this Bollinger Band constriction, how has it looked in the past compared to the time that we've been in constricting Bollinger Bands this time? And I'm watching on your chart over there to see as I'm talking here, but I can see you pulling it up and getting it ready with your BB Bollinger Bands. So let's go ahead and kick it over. Your BBs. Let's go ahead and kick it over there. I just want to see how long can we sit in this range here, OC?
Absolutely. So, I mean, the Bollinger Bands thing, and I thought for a second that, well, like it was going to be something like, that weird analysis that came out on Twitter last time, that it was, if you look at the 4.356 hour chart, right, or like a 6 1/4 chart, you might be seeing stuff like that. But no, it is actually we are getting that pressure, right? And we talked about that pressure right here at the beginning, right? When I mentioned on this chart right here, right, that we're squeezing, and I could be saying, and I don't know where those lines come from, they're driving me crazy. But and we're seeing that squeeze out right here, and we could be having a short squeeze, on my opinion. And why is that? Because of the bullish pressure there is, right? I think we are having right down here a little bit of that movement on our oscillator. Let me go and get into a clean chart where we just have our set of Bollinger Bands. We're squeezing in here, and let me zoom out a little bit, and let's go back in time somewhere like this. So once again, we have, let me make it easier for you, maybe like this. All right, so we have a consolidating area right here that went for quite a bit, right? I mean, this is much longer of what we got right now. And what happened? We ended up going below. Yes, we were below dynamic reactor. Right now, we're above dynamic reactor, but dynamic reactor is coming in strong. It's coming in fast. And let's also take a look at another consolidating area, which was this one right here. All right, look at how the bar or the Bollinger Bands were tight, right? Tight, and well, we moved, but we moved tightish, right? Then tight. We don't have the actual, there we go, kind of like this movement that indicates that we are really pushing. So we can even, be fixed across the price action, while the price action keeps moving slowly. So let me clear this up once again. Let's go all the way back to the end. And right here, so this is just an itty bitty part, and I want to compare it to the where we were before. Right here, do we have some breakouts? Yeah, significant breakouts. Not really. We just created a higher range. So could this be the case? I think so. I think this is gonna take a small breakout to the downside. I think that's what's gonna happen. We'll need to reanalyze in here, and then possibly a break to the upside. Is a breakout imminent? The Bollingers signified that yes, it is possible. But how long would that imminent will take? It could be taking not years, come on, days, or even, hours. So who knows? That depends on the volume. So I think that's what's important, taking a look at your money flow specifically, right? I think money flow right now is going to be leading the way. And if we take a look at how money flow is doing, well, despite it is getting back or trying to get back above the zero line, it's still in red. So let's be a little patient with that money flow. When we start seeing it on green, I think will be a very nice zone to start looking for a long. So yeah, Bollinger Bands not lying, but again, they can go for a little bit longer, right? But yes.
Yeah, I'm actually watching my daily oscillator setup, guys, and this is what I go. This is my go-to when I want to see what is my bias today. Go ahead and bring OC up here with me. What's up, OC? When I want to see what the bias is today on the charts, I really come over here and look at this daily oscillator setup. I got all three of my oscillators over here, got the heat map on the candles. You can see we peaked in the red here when we had that big spike up. That was this RSI point here with the power bar said, hey, downtrend, overbought, downtrend arrow, VWAP overbought. Everything just kind of triggered on us. True 7 fired. Money flow started to turn red. Volume went flat, right? That was also the point that we started to come down on our histogram, and now we're in the underside of this slope, right, with the bearish signal on the MACD normalized. What does all this mean? Well, we got to look at the most recent candle action here and this sideways consolidation, but I want to point out we're starting to come back down. We got a bounce and a curve here on the RSI primed, okay? We're starting to get the oscillator ribbon coming back down, meaning that all the oscillators are cooling off. They're getting out of this overheated zones here, right? While we're doing nothing but sideways on action. And so what I would like to see here is that you can see on the daily, money flow is still in the yellow. It's green. It means it's good, right? This is starting to get light pink, and you can see as these colors get lighter, it typically means we're not in that light pink yet, but we're in a different shade on that red histogram, right? It's getting lighter and lighter as it comes down, meaning this could start to give us, this could be an indication that we're about to start moving it back to the upside on the histogram. I think that we consolidate in this range here, about 116 on the bottom side here, wicks down below it into the 115s. Possibly come down for a liquidity sweep. We got a fair value gap right here. That would not surprise me to see that fired out, and then that V-shaped recovery comes in. But right now, it looks like we're getting some pretty decent cool off here on our indicators while maintaining price action levels. So I think that's the hope that we can have. Like if you want your ray of hope, ray of sunshine, consolidation while everything else cools off and gives us momentum for another build up on all of these oscillators. And that's what I'm watching there. And this is indicative of what we are seeing on the what we're seeing over here on the chart, because you can see, again, we showed you guys this earlier. I think it was yesterday. We talked about a big well order at the top before it dumped, and a sell order from the wells at the bottom. Well, we had another one overnight selling at the bottom. So I don't know. Retail just keeps grabbing up the sell pressure, and I think that combined with what we're seeing on the charts is what's going to keep price action dropping at bay, the dump being held at bay. You shall not pass. Gandalf the Grey there, while we're cooling all of this, all of these oscillators off, and that's just the thing that I'm going to be watching right now. OC, no one can tell you if it's going to go up or going to go down, but at the end of the day, we can tell you what is the probabilities of this holding here. And right now, I think that the possibility of it holding in this consolidating range is highly there. So what are we seeing on the altcoins, OC? Because alts are really just, right now we're starting to get a little bit of a rally on Ethereum SWE. It looks like ENA is very strong. Turbo's up a little bit. But overall, altcoins not holding their end of the deal on, hey, it's alt season. So what do you see over there on altcoins, man?
Absolutely. I do have a Bitcoin prediction that is going to be 100% accurate. And if you haven't been here, you'll get used to my dad jokes, but it's going to go to the right. That is absolutely 100%. Yeah, I know. So first, let me get started with something.
I will not take that bet.
Absolutely, I do that. So this was from yesterday's class. We were talking about Dodge coin here, and this was our first full position right down here, and we open up a half of a position up here. We set our alerts, and right now as we look into it, well, this one, it is a little bit to the right, but remember, it just was not to be on its way. So today we were taking 50% out back in here as we jammed ourselves back into the previous resistance right here today in the morning. And well, then as you can see, I was basically right here, 7:30, 7:45, right before the show, taking some profits in here. And well, then we took some profits all the way here with the reversal. I know it was very, very early in the morning, but as you can see, it played out fantastically. It's a Dogecoin. There we go. Not letting us down. Let's go and take a look at a couple of other altcoins. And for that, I want to go to Ethereum because Ethereum did have that pullback that we were expecting. That was a one candle pullback down here. It did not hit my support, but still, or my alert, sorry, but still went lower here, looking for that fake out on the possible head and shoulders. And finally, we have a breakout. So I would think that right now it's going to be defining a range or a triangular pattern, more so like what we have seen on Bitcoin. So let's go and compare it really quickly with Bitcoin. And this is a previous trade. What I don't have, oh, I know why. All right, because I'm on a different setup here. All right, so this one right here, and we need to be on the 4 hours. All right, so take a look at the what's going on, what happening here. Remember the little hump, the bigger hump. All right, coming back down, making that fake out, which in this case happened somewhere around here, and then coming back up to previous zones. I think this is what we're gonna be having. This one right there. Let me just Control-C this all the way so we have a cleaner chart where we come back down here. And in Ethereum, there we go. We have the first hump, the secondary hump. We have the sweep of the lows. And I think we're going to be having a movement to the upside in here that will be defining a trend line to the downside. Let's see if I have any support and resistances that might be giving me, the heads up or the heads down on that one. So let's just wait for my indicator to load. And it's taking forever. So there we go, finally. So, yep, there it is. Not much out there. The other one is also just hidden. We have a premium zone up here. I want to take a look at, there we go, my VRVP or VPVR, however you want to call it. And if I can move it, perfect. There we go. So nothing really here. This is a little vanilla, like meh. So again, it indicates that we could be ranging along that side. Something interesting that also could be happening, it is failing to go through this trend line. That way, we could be having a flag playing out here. I think that's less likely because of the previous hump and the size of the retracement, but that could still be a possibility. Other than that, we have a soft order block at the bottom and another soft order block at the top. It is actually coinciding with the area that I was expecting. Pretty neat right there. So good. So far, so good. There's one more line here, which is the blue line. after breaking the purple line as we expected. It went in, hit the blue line. It could react again, once again, as a resistance, giving us a double top. That wouldn't be good. But other than that, I think we're just on the waiting zone. Waiting zone so far on Ethereum. This is not, or this was not an entry for me. It did not ring it. I was waiting for one more candle, did not play it out. So sorry for that entry for me right there. So other than that, Litecoin did not had it actually hit the target that we were expecting right down here. I mean, it was just like if I draw on top of it, but look at that. But did not consolidate below or close fully below the trend line. We're closing back above. So right now, if you're looking for a possible entry, this could be it. Be careful. This would be a quarter of an entry because of the dangers that it represents all the way down here. Give yourself a little wiggle room, and we're going to be aiming. This is going to be a scalping scenario somewhere around here, right below the high order block. As you can see, we are barely above one. Maybe we can, and I would say, trick it with quote unquote, because that will be measuring all the way inside the your high order block. Nonetheless, remember, this would be a 1/4 position, so we are not risking that much, and we're aiming to enter right now where we are at this point. Remember, stop loss at 109, so be careful with that one. BNB, again, looking very good. We were expecting that flag out slightly to the right and to the downside. It did when basically faster and lower in here, creating this movement. Same double hump, same target hit. So this was a target hit, by the way. And then going back up to the loud order block, this is going to be very dangerous. I think aiming at the center of that order block, and let me see if I can bring up my volume profile bug magnifier, and it's not up there. I was expecting to have something up there, but let's see if we have some liquidations. What I'm looking for is something that leads me into that big order block, because if not, I think a correction might be in immediate, or not immediate, but there we go, maybe in here. Other than that, not much. Be careful, not a good place to take long. I rather wait. We are going to be going inside, right? But I just don't want to push into a loud order block center, especially not since it's highly bearish. But so far, center of that order block, let's add our alert because we have no other option. And maybe just looking at our previous predictive range right down there. And to finalize and then throw it back to you, Piper, XRP on the 4 hours, we lost the trend line here. It's not about the breakout, it's about your retest. We have a very nice movement to the downside. I was expecting to hit it here. We hit it, but it was not the actual support. We went right to the dynamic reactor, and I'm looking to actually get right now into a possible long. We already have our flip of the ribbon. That was exactly what we were expecting. Look at that. But it just happened a little bit farther down below. So at this point, let's go for that long position in here. I'm going to be moving my stop like in here and a little bit lower, and aiming to my previous low. So give me 1.2 percentage, a risk reward ratio. This is again a dangerous trade because we could be into a wyckoff flat pause of bearish continuation. So be quick and move your stop to entry as soon as you can on XRP. I'm gonna set my alerts to take profit and for my stop loss. And other than that, let me pass it over to you, Piper.
Yeah, shout out to Alexandra G, just dropping 5 Piper Academy memberships. Appreciate you, lady, and welcome to our new members. Well, we got Crypto Pollo. He received one. He's an old member, new member. Appreciate you being here. Thomas McGrandles. Appreciate you. You got one of those. Heath picked up one, Moonbags, and All Set. Shout out to All Set joining the members here, guys. If you guys got those memberships, go ahead and join our Discord. We've got the DCA Piper playing over there. A lot of trade setups from JR, Lunar Beaches Crypto, Buck, OC guy. And then we also had a question, OC, and it made me think because, you got this great session that you do it every evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Steve Hickey said, good morning. Blessed. Hey, does anyone know a trader online that shows how to get started trading? Like from step one. I'm new to the crypto space. I want to start trading. I don't even know a platform. Like what platform to use, etc. For a beginner like me, I would like to learn how to get set up. So, Steve Hickey. I saw Alexandra G said Frankie Candles and Tom Crown have a great free beginner series video. Absolutely. Check those out. Love those guys. They're awesome in the space. But OC, I think you should, because you're getting to that point where you've gotten all of the classes that we're going to be putting together done. But maybe we can start a series on, step 1, step 2, step 3 of how to enter trading, because you've been doing it a long time, and I think that would be a great series for you to start up. And I think that would be very valuable to some of the newcomers to the space. So, what do you think?
I said LFG. Let's do it.
LFG, let's do it. So there you go, Steve Hickey. And OC is very good about when he's live about answering questions like, hey, what is that indicator, or how do you find your support, stuff like that. He's got a whole series that he's done on trading with OC. But yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a good run that we can take into the trade with OC series of step one through whatever of trading. So OC, let's get started on that, hammer that down. I think that would be fantastic. So
absolutely. In fact, we started from zero since TradingView, but I think what we're going to be missing, or what we're going to be doing, is all right. First, how to open a TradingView setup, how to open your broker, how the broker works, and then just how to get Bitcoin was the cheapest way, because we learned that getting USDT and USDC. Yesterday we learned that, right? Whether we should be buying it, and not right away from the brokers, because they get your money.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Baby steps. Baba Yah said baby steps. Do it in baby steps. And I think that's the way to do it. I think there's a great series lined up there. So let's do that. And a lot of people are saying that they would love that. So I think that, yeah, I think that's the path forward on Trade with OC for the next several sessions, is just the baby steps of how to trade. So XRP, you were talking about that. I want to bring this up. There's a lot of stuff going on right now with XRP, by the way. XRP dump, guys. Ripple co-founder under fire for moving $175 million worth of XRP near the highs. Ripple's Chris Larson shifted 50 million XRP to exchanges just as prices peak, sparking accusation of dumping tokens. So be careful. Lot of volatility surrounding XRP right now because of that. So guys, that's about all the time we have today. If you guys got anything out of this, smash the like button. If you hate the fact that we got rug pulled and people missed the show, maybe share this one out so that they can see what they missed, and we would appreciate that. It helps us grow here, and that's what we're trying to do, is grow so that we can have a bigger community to teach and give knowledge to, because knowledge is profit. OC, appreciate you being here today, man. I know you got to head over to your class at Chart Prime, and no redirect today, so nowhere for us to go except for sideways, just like Bitcoin's consolidation to the right. To the right. That's what we're going to do. Guys, we'll catch you guys here tomorrow. Make sure you tune in with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out Lunar Beaches Crypto with Markets After Dark at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then tomorrow morning, Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp. We'll be back. We'll be back at 10 a.m. dropping the news, the charts, the knowledge, the alpha, the headlines, the macroeconomics, the durable goods orders tomorrow, and give you guys everything that you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until next time, guys, peace, love, and profits. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
You can't handle the truth. That was awesome, dude.